All right, welcome back to Empire of the Sun. Um, the next turn, the Japanese played the Ichiko China offensive card, and with that, he was able to move some of his armies up here from down here in northern Burma. He went up to northern India like this. And the next card I played was the British X-Craft submarine card, which allowed me to take a pot shot at one of his ships that are inactive and it's not in the Japanese islands. And since I've already sunk all of his carriers, or the big ones anyway, I went after the Nagato this time, and I was able to score a hit, which allowed me to flip the Nagato permanently. So you can see here at whack, I was able to the Nagato has been flipped. Okay, then I played my next turn, and I can't believe how foolish I was. This is probably the worst move I made in the turn in the game. And believe it or not, it's not the last one. I later on in the game I made another very stupid move, but fortunately that one I got away with. This one my opponent correctly made me pay for it because I was not careful. Okay, so what I did was I played the Quadrant of Conference offensive as an offensive, and I was for that I used logistical value of 3 plus 1 is 4. And so I was able to create a jar hat route and all that kind of stuff. And then what I did was I went ahead and uh, decided, well, I'm going to go and pick on these guys down here. He's got 2 912s, and I'm going to go in there and try to attack and destroy them. Just, the worst that can happen is I get forced back. It's not that big a deal. I'll be okay. Well, here is the dumb part, is that I had the presence of mind to pin this guy to keep him from reacting here. Can you see what I forgot to pin? That's right, I forgot to pin this. Okay, he's got the Mogami here. He can, if he wants to, send this 38 half army as a reaction force to Akyab. This is really dumb. I should have, like, if I had the presence of mind to pin this, why didn't I pin this? So what I did was I mobilized 4 guys, 2 here, 3rd here to pin this. Then I actually sent air cover to here, which is reasonable, I guess. But what I should have done was I could have, say, mobilized the London or the Indomitable and just come here and pin these guys. And that would have been the end of that. But then again, I wouldn't have enough to be able to launch my attack without any air cover. What I should have done was I should have just left it alone. What I should have done was I should not have attacked there. I should have just left well enough alone and just continued to attack in the South Pacific. But then again, I was feeling cocky. I was done with my progress of the war. I was thinking, well, what else am I going to do with my time? So I figured, hey, attack here. Well, so my opponent quite wisely played the JN25 code change card. He saw that I had made a mistake. Played the JN25 code change card to make sure he doesn't miss reaction. And then, of course, what he did was he was able to do that and draw a Japanese bonus card. And he did what we thought he would do. He activated the 38th Army and the Mogami, and he brought up his 38th Army up to where I am. So let's see. There, I'm going to show you how foolish. Yeah, there. See. Okay, so he played the event. So here, right, is where. My goodness, could this be any slower? Okay, so here you can see now the terrible thing now is I have 27 factors. I only have 24. Okay, in 2 battles, Battle A and Battle B. Okay, so first in the air naval, he has 9 plus 1 versus I have 9 versus 28. And so I rolled a 0, which is a quarter result. He rolls a 0, which is a quarter result. So no problems. And the ground combat happens, and then he at 26 minus 1. 26 minus 1. Oh, because of the forest or jungle, that's just only minus 1 instead of just a minus 2. So he rolls, I roll a 3, which is a 2, which is a quarter result, and he rolls a 7. And that's terrible because that gives him 41 hits. That's a quarter and a half. So this is probably the worst possible result. I only hit him for half. He hit me for 40. Well, he hit me for 1.5 times result. So he eliminates one of his armies, and unfortunately, he's able to destroy the entire attacking force here. Okay, so I was being extremely careless there. I just was not watching it. So you have to be careful. Okay, and you have to watch your opponent's reactions, and that's um, one of the lessons to be learned here is be sure that you cover all of his possible reactions, including naval, because sometimes I'll remember the ones that are adjacent, but I'll forget. Oh wait, check the naval. Okay. Later on, you'll see that I made a very similar mistake towards the end of the turn. Unfortunately, he didn't see it himself, so he wasn't able to take advantage of it. But this is really dumb because this suddenly puts me in a lot of trouble, as you can see, a lot of trouble. Because now he's got these two guys here, right? And I got nothing here. I have nothing in Dhaka, just two air units, carrier, warspite, and a SEAC. And then I've got just the 1612 4th Indian Corps in Dhaka as a reserve. And guess what? If he comes here and occupies, guess who's cut off? These guys up here. The 33rd British Corps and the 3rd Australian Corps are once again cut off. So once again, we have this problem of this very narrow, um, corridor to pass supplies in. So here I am, very deep trouble. And just a spoiler alert, obviously my opponent isn't dumb. He took advantage of it. And his very next card play, I think, he went ahead and occupied Dhaka and forced me to retreat. And then these guys are now cut off. So that was really dumb. Anyway, so I hope you guys learn from my mistakes that you really need to be careful about pinning forces that may react into your battle hex, and don't just look at what's adjacent. Look around. Maybe there might be like this is a reaction stack, a naval unit stacked with an army with a one-step half army that can really screw you up. I mean, he rolled well, no doubt. He played at 27. He had 27 factors. He rolled 1.5 result. That's pretty bad. Wouldn't be so bad if, for instance, he only rolled a half result, but he didn't. He came through for himself and reflected 1.5 times result casualties in me. So what are you gonna do? Anyway, so that's where we are right now, and this self-inflicted disaster in northern India. So we'll see going forward what happens. Does in northern India fall, or do you somehow put everything together and somehow be able to rescue our situation here in northern India? All right. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you.